Hey guys, it's Misty Eyez and
Gemma Hall.
Gemma Stone. We even asked Misty for you. Dear Misty, or hey girl, I was wondering if you had some advice for coming out. It's been very hard to be open to my family, but not my friends. What made you overcome your fear and decide to come out? XOXO, love you, gurrrr.
Gurrrr.
All right. You picked this question. You go first.
Oh, did I? What made me overcome my fear and come out?
Was it hard for you to come out?
No. Well, I made it a bigger deal than it was, which we often do.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a long time. It was like my senior year of high school or something like that, and everyone knew. Everybody knew. I knew. My whole family knew. Everyone was totally fine with it. I just made a big ordeal out of the whole small situation that it was.
You were living in fear.
Yes. Denial. I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Because like I saw other kids in high school that were getting bullied, and I was like, if I can just avoid that as much as possible, great. But no matter what, I still got bullied in high school for being gay, so I should have just came out way earlier. But no, this one night I was laying in bed. It was like a week after my first date with a boy, and I couldn't sleep. I was up all night, and I was like, Mom, come in here. I texted her from my bed. Because, you know.
You're a millennial.
Yes, very that. So I texted her to come in my room, and she came in, and she's like, go to bed! And I was like, Mom, I need to talk to you. She was like, what? Make it quick, because you need to go to bed. You have school tomorrow. And I was like, so, you know, when I went on that little date with Paige, I lied, I said it was my friend Paige I went with, to the movies, and she was like, yeah, and I said, well, it was actually a boy, and she said, and? I went on a date with a boy, and she said,
And
I said, I'm gay, and she said, and? Go to bed.
I
I was like, Mom.
can't be bothered.
I was like, Mom. And like I'm crying, like sobbing my eyes out.
She's letting you know it's not a big deal.
And she's like, I've told you a million times I don't care.
So your mom told you she didn't care you were gay before you even told her you were gay?
Oh my gosh, my whole life. Because she's kind of like a fag hag. Like she always has been. She's always been the girl with the gay friends. So, growing up I've had gay people in my life always. So that was pretty cool. That she just didn't care at all in any way. But not everyone is that fortunate.
No. Not at all. Well, are you done?
Oh, yeah, go.
Well, for me, how did I get the courage? The answer is not as courageous as Gemma's. I never actually got the courage to come out. Not while I was in high school. Not even while I was in college. Well, that's not true. I actually did my senior year of college. I knew I was gay since I was very, very little. I was molested, and being a child that was molested, I knew what a penis was. And I knew that if you touch it, it gets hard. So I started playing with my friends. Like, hey, show me mine, she'll show you yours. And
I did that in preschool one time.
One thing led to another, and I was having 9-year-old sex with all the boys in my neighborhood.
Perfect. Wow. Wow. In Alaska.
Kind of a whore, yes. And so I've always known, you know, and I was on the swim team, and I'd always have to change when I was young. I'd have to change in the bathroom stall because I was afraid to get hard when other people were changing near me. Do you want to use this too? I do it that way. You don't have to do it that way.
It's fine.
Okay. I always changed in the bathroom stall because I was afraid to get hard with other people in the locker room. I didn't want them to see me and be laughed at. Or like, oh, she's got a big one, or she's got a hard on, or whatever.
9 inches.
She, when I was little, it definitely wasn't she either, by the way. So I was definitely afraid or in fear, but I knew my whole life. And I think one of my neighbors told my mom I was gay. She was like, you know your son is totally queer, right? I mean, I told my mom when I was a girl, when I was like super little. I mean, I played with Barbies and everything my whole life. But like Gemma Stone, I made a much bigger deal out of it. I was afraid because of religious reasons and the church and being kicked out of my family and being kicked out of everything. So I actually didn't come out of the closet until after I got kicked out of school. Once I got kicked out of college, I wrote my family a huge letter. I felt that it was easier to break the news to them via letter than on phone call or in person, because if they rejected me, then guess what? I don't have to deal with it right away. So I wrote them a letter, and basically the reaction was similar in that everybody already knew. But actually, it was right before I got kicked out of college. Then, like a month later, I got kicked out of college, and my mom was like, you can't come home unless you come back to Jesus. So I was right. I ended up getting kicked out after all. But we live in a very different time. This was literally, for me, it was 20 years ago. And the world has changed. Ellen has come out on TV. Queer as Folk has been on TV. Will and Grace has been on TV. The world is much more accepting of the gay community now.
Actually, Ellen helped me come out.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
To my grandma. I love you, Ellen.
That's sweet. But I think we live in a much more accepting time and a much more accepting age. And I think that, like Gemma and I, you probably have a lot of friends. Like when I came out in college, I told all my friends, they already knew. It was obvious to everybody. Like, they're like, oh yeah, we knew. Like everyone. Even my Christian friends were like, yeah, we know. So I also made it a bigger deal and hid it. So you say you're out to your family, but not your friends. I bet your friends already know, is the point of my story.
And I tell you what, coming out is the best feeling. It's hard at first. Like there's a lot of lonely nights where you think that you're there completely alone. But when you actually like take a step back and actually look at who you have with you, who's there for you.
Yeah.
There's so many people that you would never expected would be so open.
And the best part is you don't have to lie anymore. Lying every day is the worst. It's like, oh God. Now I don't have to pretend. Yourself. Yeah. And another thing that changed with me was my attitude. Like, if you don't like me, fuck you.
Oh, see, I've always kind of been a pushover until recently.
Yeah.
And I still kind of am, I'm sure.
With what?
Just life.
Yeah. But I think that, honey, once you learn to truly love and accept yourself, it will come easier. And if you already have the support from your family, 90% of the battle's already done.
Seriously, that's the hardest one.
Yeah.
Like, your friends can come and go, but your family's there forever.
Yeah, and I told all my friends before I told my family. So I did it backwards from you too. I think that you'll make it. You'll handle it. And if your friends are really your friends, they're going to be your friends, whether you like boys or girls, or whether you like blondes or brunettes, or whether you like fat or tall or skinny.
And seriously, who knows? Maybe some of your boyfriends will be like, I am too.
Now that you're gay, I'm not, but we can like mess around. That happened to me in college.
It does happen.
It does happen. I had messed around with a couple of my straight friends who are still straight. And they're like, I'm just curious.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
Hello.
But yeah, I think that you're going to be strong and you're going to be amazing. And I'm sending you strength and love and power.
You know, it's 2016. It's almost cool. No.
It's actually very cool now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm trying to deal with the opposite. Now I'm coming out as trans.
Yeah, you had to come out twice.
Oh, it's horrible. Anyways, that was Gemma Stone and Misty Eyez. Loving you, ZZ.